from Madison Square Garden in New York City. ABC brings you live and in color the final and climactic game in this exciting NBA Championship Series. Tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers, a team continually frustrated in championship play, faced by their superstars Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor, meet the New York Knicks, seeking their first NBA championship with their hopes resting on the injured leg of their captain, Willis Reed. Here on New York's West Side, tonight it's a one-game showdown as New York and Los Angeles are tied after 6 games in their best-of-7 title series. Los Angeles hopes resting on a performance like that of Wednesday night in tying the series. New York hoping that Willis Reed will play and can be effective. At 6 p.m. New York time, the New York Knickerbocker captain took the floor for a preliminary warm-up. The first time he had shot the basketball since Monday when he was injured. He was watched carefully by Coach Red Holtzman, who in turn talked to ABC reporter Howard Cosell.
Fred, with Willis Reed working out in the background, how long will he play, and what do you suspect his measure of efficiency will be?
Howard, that's very hard to say. We're going to watch him warm up now, and then we'll watch him in the pregame warm-ups, and then we'll watch what he does at the beginning of the game. And, of course, that will determine what he does. Now, so far, the doctors told us that he can try to play. He's able to try to play without any future injury, any future problem. So he will play, but it will have to be based on what his efficiency is. If he can help us, then we'll let him play. Obviously, if he can't help us, there's no sense in him being out there because we would treat him just like any other player. But knowing Willis, I know he's going to give it a great shot, and I think we can expect some help from him.
Could you win without him? Execute a miracle such as Monday night pass?
Well, I have to be optimistic. I have to think that we could win without him. But I'd like to try to win with him if we can. Now, the Lakers are a very, very tough ball club with or without Willis. So in any case, it's going to be a tough job, even if he was at 100% capacity.
Fred, thank you very much. Good luck to you. Win or lose, you've had a superb season.
Thank you, Howard.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chris Schenkel, and my colleague on the NBA Game of the Week and in this playoff series, Jack Twyman. And Jack, 19,500 fans here in New York City have yet to see Willis Reed at this hour of the evening.
That is very critical. We heard Red Holtzman say he expected him to start. We just had an announcement from the press row that Willis has just received 200 cc of cortisone. Now, I've had cortisone myself, and I think we see Willis coming out.
There he comes right now. 6'10" from Grambling, the captain of the Knicks, the most valuable player of the NBA. It's a standing ovation at the new Madison Square Garden. This is a 38 sellout crowd, and they have been reacting to their Knickerbockers the same way all season long. And he has hit 2 in a row, and they are beside themselves. At the opposite end, the Los Angeles Lakers are hitting them too. So in this one-game season, Jack Twyman, I know the fans will enjoy our coverage from the Garden in New York. And this crowd is awfully loud. Will that help the Knickerbockers?
Well, if ever there was a key, it's Willis Reed, and the fans in the background are cheering every shot he makes. It is questionable, Chris, and as I was saying, the longer he was in there, the more difficult it became. There we look at Reed warming up. The longer he was in there being worked on, the more difficult it's going to be for him to start fresh. That leg has to be warmed up. He's been in the dressing room, and you saw him come out on the floor. So they're going to have to get that leg warmed up, and how effective he will be remains to be seen.
Jack, the other night at the Forum in Los Angeles, he watched the whole game, street clothes, and he saw an awesome performance by Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, I think in that particular game, we saw how important Willis Reed was to the New York Knickerbockers. The fact that Willis, with his tremendous strength, I think is one of the few players in the league that can keep Chamberlain off the board. And you saw how much the Knickerbockers missed Willis in that last ball game. But there are other key players in this series. The great game that Wilt Chamberlain played the other night, 45 points, 27 rebounds. Reed at 100% efficiency. If Chamberlain plays the way he played on Wednesday night's game, it's going to be tough to beat this Los Angeles ball club.
Jack, I'd like to say, along with all the fans, that I think Jerry West is a superstar. Walt Frazier, is a great team leader on offense for the Knicks.
Look at the way Garrett started out the ball game the other night. He got the Lakers flying right at the first quarter, shot them to a 20-point lead at the end of the first quarter. So he has to be guarded a little more closely.
Well, we hope you're comfortable wherever you are, because there have been 6 games played in this championship series. The Lakers were on the verge of elimination and then won 7 straight against Phoenix and Atlanta to get into this series against New York. And they don't want to be eliminated tonight as we look at the back of Jerry West, number 44, that great star of the Los Angeles Lakers.
And West is resting. You know, we've been out here. The Lakers came out about 15 after 7, anticipating a normal 7:30 starting time. So West has been warming up a long time, and he's conserving that energy.
We'll return to Madison Square Garden in New York for player introductions in just one moment. Willis Reed still moving around in a walk, not a run or a jog or a trot, Jack.
As we announced, Chris, he was shot with 200 cc of cortisone. Now, what Willis is doing right now is trying to get that cortisone circulating through that injured muscle. It acts as kind of a numbing agent, but it also helps the blood move around. I've had a few myself, and it takes a long time to get it circulating. And it was announced that he was just a few minutes ago, before we saw him come out on the floor, shot with the cortisone. So what Willis is doing now, you notice he's not doing anything dramatic. He just wants to get that stuff flowing around in there and get himself warmed up.
Well, neither team needs much additional motivation tonight, because in addition to the title, at stake is $48,000, which will be added to the previous playoff money and the season money, and it's a sizable chunk that can be split up. And there's Reed now, loping toward the Knickerbocker bench, which is to our left, and tonight the Knicks will be in white with their blue and orange trim, but it'll be the forum blue and yellow of the Los Angeles Lakers. Players like Elgin Baylor, who have been in 7 championship series, yet to win a title. Jerry West has been involved in 6. Wilt Chamberlain has tasted championship when he was with the Philadelphia 76ers in 1967, so he does know what it's like. But he is one of the most frustrated of the Lakers, because Jack Kent Cooke, the owner, got together 3 superstars in hopes of winning a title for the sports fans in the Los Angeles, California area, and believe me, they are terrific fans. Here in New York, except for the New York Mets and the New York Football Giants when they won in 1956, they have really come to life, and you'll hear what I mean tonight. In the background, you hear John Condon introducing Elgin Baylor.
Keith Erickson.
Here's Keith Erickson. He's done a terrific job guarding Bill Bradley in this series.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Guards, number 20, Dick Garrett.
And here is Garrett moving out slowly, getting a round of applause from his teammate Chamberlain. And here's Jerry West. And the partial crowd gives Jerry a big hand, and they certainly should. Now the New York Knickerbockers.
And now here they are, the New York Knickerbockers. At the forwards, number 22, Dave DeBusschere.
And now the audience stands and applauds Dave DeBusschere.
Number 24, Bill Bradley.
Now hear
At
this.
center, number 19, Captain Willis Reed.
That's still for Willis Reed. That's the type of applause that has been reserved for boxers like Sugar Ray Robinson in the old garden, Tony Zale and Rocky Graziano, and a host of other great fighters. So there are the Knickerbockers, the Knicks coached by Red Holtzman, Coach of the Year, and a first-year coach, Joe Mulaney, a great one, from the Lakers. Now with Eddie Layton at the console of the mighty organ here in Madison Square Garden, let's listen to our national anthem. That was Eddie Layton at the organ, and now let's look at the matchup of tonight's one-game championship game.
There you see the key matchup, of course, is Will Chamberlain and Willis Reed. But Walt Frazier is going to have to play Dick Garrett a little more closely than he did in the last game, because it was Garrett who jumped the Lakers out to a fast lead, and they're going to have to pay a little bit more attention to Garrett. Barnett has been doing a great job on West, as has Keith Erickson on Bill Bradley. Dave DeBuscher and Elgin Baylor renewing their head-on-head battle.
The home-and-home series in the first 6 games split. Los Angeles won at home just Wednesday night, and on Monday night, the Knickerbockers won here. Neither team has won 2 in a row. As we look at the New York Knickerbockers in white, there is Willis Reed, number 9. The official is Richie Powers. Mendy Rudolph, the other official. And in reserve, referee Don Murphy. Mendy Rudolph and Richie Powers, who have covered this series the last 3 games, will now get ready to move into the center circle along with Reed on the left, number 19, Chamberlain, the handshake, the sweat man around his brow. Richie Powers throws it up. Chamberlain gets control. Willis Reed did not try to get off the floor. Now it's Garrett who has the ball for Los Angeles, number 20. Number 22 is Elgin Baylor. Guarded by DeBuscher, and Baylor's shot is short. It's taken by Bill Bradley, then a fast break to Walt Frazier. Frazier then slows it down, is picked up by Jerry West at the top of the post. Reed, good! Willis Reed scores the first bucket here tonight, and New York leads.
And Reed has scored that bucket, but he's not running. He's going to take his time to warm that leg up.
And there you see him getting help from Bill Bradley. As the ball was tossed in West to Chamberlain, Bradley commits the foul, and Chamberlain will go to the line. The man who scored 45 points on Wednesday night to lead the Lakers to victory. Standing about 3 feet away from the foul line. Off it comes. Chamberlain fakes a pass. Gives quickly to Garrett. Garrett on a fadeaway jumper. No good. Chamberlain gets the ball up and good. So the score is tied. The 2 centers have made the first 2 baskets.
And Reed wasn't even down there to contest Chamberlain. As we see the ball intercepted from Bradley by Garrett, but there you see Willis Reed. He did not even come down to try and get the rebound. So Reed is really taking his time getting that leg loosened up. He better not take too much time, Chris.
Now he moves his right leg up and down, and I notice, Jack, that as he stops, he puts the weight on his left foot, as we will have Bill Bradley at the line, having been fouled by number 20, Garrett of Los Angeles. Dick Garrett of Southern Illinois from Princeton University. Bill Bradley. And the Knicks lead 3-2. We have 11 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And Elgin Baylor has come back to help bring that ball up court, across the divisional line, gets a screen from Jerry West. Erickson is on the opposite side as Chamberlain has the ball, working on Reed now. He's probably tried to be mobile to make Reed move around. Instead passes it out to Baylor, closely guarded by DeBuscher. Baylor. And we have a foul called on Elgin Baylor.
And the Lakers, as they were Monday night in that upset win by New York, are standing around trying to get the ball into Chamberlain so he can try Willis Reed.
And Reed now is outside. There's his second shot. He is 2 for 2. Willis Reed. Look at him limp to the opposite end of the court, trying to stay with Chamberlain. And let's see if the Los Angeles Rams will really take advantage of it. They throw it into Chamberlain. It's 5-2 New York. Chamberlain comes around. It's up. And on the play is fouled by Willis Reed, who was very quick. Willis headed toward the opposite end of the court as though he thought he would shoot it. Now he comes over to the Knickerbocker bench. Coach Red Holtzman has shouted something to him. Willis is just going to the opposite end now, getting set up for defense.
As we look at Will Chamberlain, the Lakers got themselves in trouble Monday night when they stopped everything as he misses that free throw and tried to concentrate on getting it in. They left their game plan, and that's what got them in trouble Monday evening.
Chamberlain now has missed 3 as we have Bill Bradley driving. Giving over in the corner to Reed. There's DeBuscher. Now we have Walt Frazier faking Erickson. And Erickson, with the crowd moaning, will foul him on the play. Let's watch again.
There's Walt Frazier brilliantly faking Keith Erickson. Erickson contacts him right there. There's the foul. Walt Frazier on the line.
Erickson's first foul. Here's Walt Frazier. And New York now leads by 4 points with 10 minutes and 10 seconds first quarter. So it's 7-2, and the press for the Knickerbockers. This is rookie Garrett. And look at Walt Frazier trying to steal it. Keith Erickson in the far corner, guarded by Bill Bradley. Erickson moving in toward the bucket. The rebound comes off to Frazier. Frazier loops one over to DeBusschere. DeBusschere at the top of the key. Beautiful shot, and the Knicks take a 7-point lead, and the Lakers call for a timeout. There's a timeout here at Madison Square Garden in New York City with the score, Knickerbockers 9, Lakers 2. Willis Reed, number 19, coming out on the floor with the other 4 Knickerbockers as New York leads 9-2.
And as we look at Reed, he is limping, but what a lift he has given this New York ball club. That, Chris, and along with this tremendous crowd. This crowd can really inspire a ball club, and they've intimidated the Lakers and given tremendous inspiration for the Knickerbockers.
And now the ball goes from West to Chamberlain. Chamberlain looks for Erickson. Erickson comes over to Baylor with the ball. Baylor in the foul circle, bounces one back to Erickson. The pressing defense of the Knicks. And Chamberlain couldn't make it, so Erickson battles for the rebound. On the far side, it goes to Baylor, and Baylor's shot is good. New York from the field is 3 for 3. Frazier did shoot, missed. He was fouled, so that shot does not count. They are 3 for 3 from the foul line. As we look now at Dick Barnett, number 12. Frazier, number 10. On the far side, 22 to DeBusschere. The top of the key, Bill Bradley, number 24. They are 4 for 4 from the field. 11-4. They lead. 8 minutes, 55 seconds to go. First quarter at Madison Square Garden. Erickson bringing the ball in. Picked up by Bradley, whose hands keep moving. Look at that defense. It is really tough.
And it's bothering the Lakers because on Wednesday night there, they forced them into a walking play. So the Knickerbockers, with that tight defense, caused a turnover, and the Lakers turned the ball over again. The tight pressing defense is working.
There's Walt Frazier, number 10. Under the basket. Barnett has it knocked away. Good work by the Lakers. Number 22, Baylor, gives over to Erickson. Reed goes down slowly, and Jerry West shot right over him. Reed could not get up and try to knock down the ball. Now it's 11-6. 8:23 to go, first quarter, as Walt Frazier brings it in. He's guarded by Garrett, as you see, number 20. And he is fouled. Garrett now has 2 personals. Richie Powers indicating the foul, number 20, as we see West, number 44. And Frazier is at the line for New York. Meanwhile, Reed goes to the opposite end, along with Keith Erickson. Leaving Chamberlain at the defensive board, along with Baylor. Frazier is 4 for 4 from the foul line as they take a 7-point lead. We look at Elgin Baylor, number 22, guarded by 22 in white, DeBusschere. And listen to that intimidating crowd. Jerry West, guarded by Barnett. And the ball comes off to DeBusschere. Barnett moving quickly. And there you saw Dave DeBusschere's second field goal, and a most unusual one for him. It's 15-6. Garrett, number 20. In it goes to Chamberlain.
And you see Walt Frazier is very aware. As Wilt loses the ball, Willis Reed gets it. But Walt Frazier is guarding Dick Garrett much closer than he was Wednesday evening.
Like a bunch of gnats swarming the Knick defense. Now they're having a little trouble hanging on to the ball. Reed loses it. Chamberlain pressuring him. And there he goes. West's shot is rebounded by Chamberlain. Walt Frazier was with Jerry West defensively. So we have a 15-8 ball game at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. Reed at the foul line. Gives off to Bradley. Bradley moving sprightly here tonight, more so than Wednesday night.
And you notice Wilt Chamberlain has to come out on Willis Reed, and it opens up the inside as Bill Bradley drove through. So Willis, just in the lineup, is forcing Chamberlain to come out from underneath.
Elgin Baylor now gets another field goal, number 22. So it's 17 to 10. About 6.5 minutes remaining. New York from the field, 6 for 6. Bradley to Barnett. Chamberlain coming off with the ball, and Reed. Let's see if it was loose ball or a loose ball foul on Willis Reed, and that is his second foul of the evening.
Of course, a loose ball foul was called because Chamberlain did not have possession of the ball.
Jerry West trying to break up DeBuscher's drive, passing off to Frazier. Barnett. Rebound comes off to Quick Frazier. 19 to 10. Garrett now trying to move the Lakers quickly into the attacking zone. Chamberlain gets into his position as Garrett comes around in the lane. 2 points for Garrett. 19 to 12. On the far side, it's Bill Bradley, number 24, guarded by Erickson. And DeBuscher's shot up and in. And DeBuscher has a hot hand for New York. Acquired a year ago, and he has made a big difference in the New York entry of the NBA. Jerry West, number 44. Barnett guarding him. Erickson battling for the rebound. Good job. Tenacious. Keith Erickson, number 24 in blue. It's 21-14 now. 5-minute mark. First quarter. Walt Frazier. Garrett trying to steal the ball. Basket counts. And it'll be Frazier going to the line. And the foul is called on Garrett, who now has 3.
And as we see Walt Frazier at the line, we see the Knickerbockers going to Frazier more. That's doing 2 things. It's organizing the Knickerbocker attack, but it's also keeping Garrett very occupied, not allowing him to roam around as he did on Wednesday, as we see Frazier make it.
Okay, Jack. Frazier now with 9 points. It's 24-14, the largest lead of 10. 4:54. First quarter. This is Jerry West driving on Barnett. Trying to get close to get that ball in the hoop. Good bank shot by the great star. 24-16. West now has 4 points for Los Angeles. Barnett to DeBuscher, number 22. Now Bradley and Reed. Chamberlain gets that rebound, his 6th of the night. That's Barnett trying to get in on Jerry West. Reed waits for Chamberlain. Now goes deep with him as West drives. Fakes Barnett out of position. Tough break on the goal, and Reed gets the rebound. And Reed now trying to hustle to the opposite end. Sets up a pick. Frazier goes the opposite way, and Frazier has 11. 26-16, 3:50 left in the first quarter. Erickson, or rather Jerry West, around the Baylor screen. Now into Wilt Chamberlain. And Walt Frazier in good position, rebounds for New York. It's his 4th of the evening. DeBuscher's shot is rebounded by Bradley, who gives to Barnett. They're swarming attack, the Knickerbockers.
You saw the Lakers go to Chamberlain, keeping in mind that Willis Reed has 2 personals, so the Lakers would like nothing better than to see Reed get his 3rd or 4th personal foul.
Baylor moving on the top of the key. Whistle blows. Richie Powers. Spots a holding
Dave
foul.
DeBuscher, Chris.
Right,
22
number 20.
guarding Elgin Baylor. In that pick there, he fouled Jerry West.
So it'll be West going to the foul line, number 44. And for DeBuscher, he has 1 foul. West from the field is 2 of 6. He has 7 points now for the Lakers as Dick Barnett, number 12. Barnett outside to Frazier. Loops one over to DeBusschere. Bradley in the same area as they fled the zone with Reed joining them. Now it's Bradley. Rebound comes off to Garrett, number 20. Quickly over to Erickson. Reed on this move to the opposite end seemed to go a bit faster and limped less. Chamberlain has the ball, double team. And here's Frazier. Frazier quickly to Bill Bradley.
But Chris, Reed is down. He twisted something on that last play at the other end, and he's having trouble with that leg. Red Holzman wants a timeout. It appears that Reed twisted that leg on that last exchange.
Jerry West.
He can't move at all. Look at Willis Reed.
Right. 7 points now for Jerry West here at the Garden. Reed limping to the bench. And with 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter of this NBA championship game, the score is New York 30, Los Angeles 19. Watch number 19, Willis Reed.
This is a play, Chris, just before the timeout. Chamberlain with the ball. You notice Reed laying off. He has 2 personal fouls. But Chamberlain makes the play, and Reed jumps away and turns right here, and it appears that going up on this play and coming down right here, look at him wince. Right there it appears is where he twisted it.
There he is. He's back out on the court at the opposite end. And if the Lakers can keep him going to his right, that puts pressure on the injured hip. So here now is Bill Bradley of the New York Knickerbockers at the top of the key. Chamberlain comes off for the rebound. He now has 7 for the Lakers. 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I'll tell you, Chris, regardless of how this game comes out, we're seeing a tremendous display of courage on the part of Reed. He is really dragging that leg as he runs down the floor.
And Chamberlain, as Bradley came by, knocked the ball away. Good retrieve as Erickson shoots. Keith Erickson, and here are the Knicks in a fast break. 2-on-2, knocked away by Erickson, away from Bradley, and Jerry West picks it up. Goes into the top of the key at the foul line. Chamberlain trying to rebound, and it's a foul on Chamberlain. That's Chamberlain's first. There he is, Will Chamberlain, with an offensive. Well, let's see. It's DeBusschere going to the opposite end now to shoot the foul.
That's a penalty situation is why we're shooting this right here. Normally, the Knickerbockers would take the ball out of bounds, but in a penalty situation, you shoot everything.
The Knicks are shooting 67% from the field, 45% for the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Knicks at the foul line are red hot. In fact, they have not missed a foul shot thus far tonight. With 1:25 left in the first quarter, it's 32-21. In it comes to Chamberlain. Reed guarding him. And Wilt gets it. 32-23. 1:14 left first quarter. Walt Frazier. 34-23. And unlike Wednesday night in Los Angeles, Frazier is shooting the ball. Jerry West losing it to Frazier. The 5th turnover. And Frazier is there. Back under the basket. Bradley and DeBusschere are there. And DeBusschere puts it in. 36-23. 41 seconds. First quarter. Jerry West.
The key in this quarter is Frazier. He has, as West drives through there, fouls on Dick Barnett. But the Knickerbockers have departed from their previous strategy of not allowing Frazier to shoot. He's shooting, he's going for the basket, he's looking at the basket, and they didn't do that up until this game in the playoffs. So they're allowing Walt Frazier to take charge, and it's been very effective.
He's averaging 14.5 points, Walt Frazier. Jerry West averaging 31.8 in the first 6 games. West now has 8 points. And that's DeBusschere rebounding, releasing it to Bradley. Bradley then gives to Frazier, guarded by Garrett. Frazier shoots. And the strategy works once more for the Knicks with 25 seconds first quarter. 15 points for Frazier, 38-24. the largest lead of the night for the Knicks.
And you know that press is working when the forwards come out to break it, Baylor and Erickson.
Chamberlain now. And good rebound by DeBusschere, long to Bradley. And time expired in the initial period. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll return to the second quarter of this NBA championship game, live and in color from Madison Square Garden in New York, in just one moment. The score, New York 38, Los Angeles 24. We're ready now for the second quarter as we look at the Knickerbocker bench.
And as we look at that Knickerbocker bench, look at Walt Frazier. He's down on the end. He's 5 of 5 from the floor. He's 5 of 5 from the line. He has 4 assists, and he has taken charge here. What a great first quarter. And as equally important, he's keeping Garrett. There you see the statistics. He's keeping Garrett very busy, and Garrett has not been allowed to go free like he did in Wednesday night's game and get those open shots. So Walt Frazier is certainly the star of this first quarter.
Here we go with the second quarter, and we have two substitutions, number 6 Reardon for Barnett, and Hairston, number 52 Los Angeles for Elgin Baylor. This is Jerry West driving around to Reardon, and Reardon fouls Jerry on the play. Reardon's first foul, the very first bit of action. And for those of you that are watching NBA basketball and this series for the first time, bringing you up to date as Jerry shoots, it's been a close 6-game series. One ended in double overtime, one ended in single overtime. One game was decided by 1 point, 2 were decided by 2, and 1 was decided by 4 points. So, except for the game on Wednesday night, they have been close. Right now, the Knicks are out in front by 13. They have the ball. Willis Reed holding it. And Dave DeBusschere is another shooting star. He has 12 points. He and Frazier have a total tonight of 27 of the 40 for New York. As Jerry West tries to get close, he gives outside to Hairston. Hairston back to West. West trying to get away from Reardon. Gives to Chamberlain, but it's stolen away by Frazier. Frazier, number 10. And Bill Bradley gets the bucket. Frazier the assist. It's 42-25, a 17-point lead. And a lot has to be said for the Knicks defense as Garrett goes up. And there's Walt Frazier in disbelief. He must have hooked him as he came by. And this is as Reed comes over to cheer him up. Here's a fantastic statistic. New York shooting from the field 72%.
And Joe Mulaney is up off the bench encouraging his team to settle down. They're being tremendously intimidated by this New York press, and they're departing entirely from their game plan. So Mulaney very anxious to quiet his team down and settle them down.
Garrett has 3 points for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now 4. Making it 42-27 with 10:53 left in the first half. And Frazier again controls the ball, the quarterback of the attack. And coming off the rebound is Will Chamberlain. Erickson was there just in case. He's dribbling the ball. West has it now. Garrett has it. He's guarded by Frazier. Back it goes outside to Erickson. Now Hairston loops one to Chamberlain. Reed trying to work on him. And Chamberlain having trouble hitting. And Reed goes off the floor and gets the rebound, his second.
And you notice where Chamberlain has taken that shot from, about 5 feet further out than the other night. So Reed's strength is showing its effect. He's forcing him outside a little further.
Good save under the bucket by DeBusschere, who gives to Reardon. Reardon to Bradley. Good! With timeout here in the second quarter, the score, New York 44, Los Angeles 27. Now we go live and in color from Madison Square Garden in New York, and what often is a very blasé crowd at sporting events or the theater in New York City. This is a rabid crowd cheering on their team, the Knickerbockers, as the Lakers have the ball and they trail by 17. Jerry West guarded by Reardon, who was the first New York substitute. Hap Hairston was the first for the Lakers as Garrett gets the ball from 25. No good. DeBusschere rebounds. Quickly to Reardon. Reardon to Frazier. Garrett gets the rebound for the Lakers. Stolen. Bad pass by Garrett. Too long. DeBusschere, a bounce pass to Reardon. It's good. Firehouse basketball by the Knickerbockers. 46-27. Coming up to the 9-minute mark of the first half. As we look at Hap Hairston. Looping one to Chamberlain. And to Erickson. So there you had the Lakers on the move a bit more, and Erickson was open. 46-29. Frazier and Reardon in the backcourt. We have Bradley, number 24, and DeBusschere in the corners. Reed remains at center on a high post, gives to Reardon. Now to Bradley. West with the rebound. Good long pass to Garrett. Garrett guarded by DeBusschere on a switch. Chamberlain couldn't get it. And Bradley drives toward the top of the key in the corner to Reardon. Reardon, good! 48-29 and 18. 8 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Erickson down to Hairston. Johnny Egan getting ready to come into the lineup for Los Angeles. Knocking it away is Frazier, controlled by Reardon. Reardon back to Frazier, number 10. Back to Reardon, to DeBusschere. Good fake on West. And Chamberlain gets it off the defensive board. Jerry West. Bradley picks him up. West finds the range, making it 48-31. West now with 11 points. Slowing down the pace, and it's been terrific, is Frazier. Dave Stallworth waiting to come in for the Knickerbockers. Frazier. West with the rebound for the Lakers. Now they begin to move, but the quick hands of Frazier done it again. 19-point lead, thanks to number 10, Walt Frazier, Dave DeBusschere, and the swarming offense of New York.
And as we listen to that crowd, you can't say enough the way that crowd has picked up this New York ball club. They have inspired this ball club. We saw them here on ABC on Wednesday evening. They're a totally different ball club here tonight, and you have to give a great deal of the credit to this great crowd here in New York.
The foul was on Jerry West, and Frazier is good at the foul line. He has yet to miss from there tonight. 51-31, a 20-point lead. The Lakers had a 20-point lead on Wednesday night. Well, there's a violation across the divisional line, and it's the 9th Laker turnover. The pressure by Reardon caused that to happen. Stallworth is in the lineup now for DeBusschere. Egan is in the lineup for the Lakers, and Barnett has come in for Frazier. All right, now we have Erickson coming across the divisional line, picked up by Bill Bradley. Egan is on the opposite side of the court. As Chamberlain gets the ball, his double team puts it in nonetheless.
Chris, we said earlier that Willis had received 200 cc. It was reported to us that he had received 200. As it turns out, it was 2 cc of cortisone. 200 would be a little strong. He's big and strong, but not that strong.
Well, the circus is in town here at Madison Square Garden, Jack. Perhaps one of the elephants below us here, about 5 stories, could take it. And we're up here with the trapeze artists. We're a city block and 5 stories away from the playing court. Willis Reed now, quickly giving to number 9, Stallworth, in the lineup for the first time tonight. As we indicated, Barnett is back in, giving Frazier his first rest. There he is, number 12. Chamberlain comes out to guard Barnett on a switch. And the hook shot. And the Tennessee State star.
And there's another benefit of having Reed in that lineup. You saw that set he put on Barnett, and Wilt Chamberlain had the switch. That was not occurring on Wednesday evening.
Cassie Russell getting ready to come in as the ball goes to Chamberlain. Chamberlain pushed by Reed, and a bad pass is taken by Barnett. It's 3-on-2, but Mendy Rudolph blows his whistle, and a foul is called, a holding foul. Now it's Cassie Russell, number 33, replacing Bradley, number 24. And going to the foul line. There you see the Knickerbocker bench. It's Barnett at the foul line. West committed the foul. Barnett has 4 points tonight. Formerly with the Los Angeles Lakers, he's a veteran in playoff competition. And now we have the biggest lead. (56-33). 6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Johnny Egan gets the feel of the ball now, having substituted for Garrett as Chamberlain has it. Reed looks. Ball goes to West. Whistles blow. And in the lineup, John Tresvant, number 14, replacing Erickson. Barnett fouls Jerry West on the play. There is Tresvant, who was very important a week ago tonight in Los Angeles, Jack.
He sure was. And Joe Mulaney, with Johnny Egan in that backcourt, trying to come up with some combination to effectively move that ball against this tenacious New York press. He's sacrificing scoring, as we saw West make the first one, but getting that ball handling in there to move that ball around.
Jerry West now with 13 points. He's having a little tough luck thus far from the field. He has hit on 4 of 10. Now Russell shoots for the first time, and West gets the rebound, number 44. Egan. Hairston. Short, hit the net. Almost looked as though it went through. So that's Stallworth giving it over to Barnett. Barnett guarded by Hairston. Around he comes. (59-35). 5:14 to go in the first half. Chamberlain back to Tresvant. And the Knicks, Mike Reardon with the rebound. Barnett. That was Reed with the rebound, giving over to Cassie Russell. The ball still loose. Stallworth saves it for New York. Gives to Reed. Stolen away. There goes Hairston. The Lakers are really having tough luck on many of their shots, Jack. They rim it and almost come back out.
Well, that New York press is drawing out the forwards, and they're taking those shots about 10 feet further out than they normally would, and as a result, they're not taking as good a percentage shot.
Chamberlain comes off with the ball for the Lakers. 4:25 less than the first half. A 22-point lead by New York. Egan directing the attack. From Tresvant to Chamberlain to Egan. Tresvant rebounding. The ball knocked away. Egan has it for a while, and he's joined by Cassie Russell. A jump ball, and Red Holtzman wants the Knicks to call time. Russell 33, Egan 21, Chamberlain 13, Barnett 12, Hairston 52, and what a pace. Timeout, Madison Square Garden, as the Knickerbockers lead the Los Angeles Lakers 59-37. Back again at the Garden, you see Wilt Chamberlain with 8 points, 10 rebounds, Reed with 4 points and 4 rebounds, but he has neutralized Chamberlain as compared to Wednesday night in Los Angeles. And here's another fact. New York has shot 40 times. They've made 24. Los Angeles has shot 38 times, making only 15. 59-37. Check the lineups for you now. The lineup, we have Tresvant, Hap Hairston, Wilt Chamberlain, and Jerry West, along with Egan, who's jumping with number 33, Cassie Russell. Tresvant controlling the ball for the Lakers, trying to get away, double-teamed, and that gnawing defense as Reardon controls it, and is fouled under the basket. That's Stallworth, number 9. The Knick lineup: Stallworth, Reardon, Barnett, Reed, who stays at the opposite end, and Russell. The foul was on Tresvant, his first, as we look at Mike Reardon, a native of Long Island, who played at Providence College. So it means he was coached by the Laker head mentor, Joe Mulaney. Los Angeles with 12 turnovers. New York only 5. 3:53 to go in the first half. The Knicks 60. The Lakers 37. Johnny Egan, guarded by Reardon. West is guarded by Barnett. He gets loose. Chamberlain comes out now near the foul line. And the chant is defense. Jump ball. Hap Hairston trying to get close. As Frazier now will come back in. Reardon, who did a good job coming off the bench. And don't forget, Elgin Baylor is watching the game from the Los Angeles bench as Hairston gets it back after being touched by Chamberlain. And Mindy Rudolph spots a foul. Well, we're just checking here to find out what the call is. It's on the Los Angeles Lakers, and Joe Mulaney is up, and he now wants an explanation from Richie Powers, and so do we. Nevertheless, it was on Los Angeles, and for Laker fans, not good because the Knicks have the ball again, and Frazier, just back in the lineup, is guarded too closely by Egan, who gets his first foul. There is Joe Mulaney.
One other note, Willis Reed has effectively played the major part of the second quarter without getting that third foul. So he's been playing it cool, and it has paid off. So Reed, formerly in foul trouble, now not in foul trouble.
Frazier with 18 points, 6 of 6 from the line, 6 of 8 field goals. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the first half, 60-37, New York. Chamberlain and Hairston along the lane. Hairston will inbound the ball. The Knicks put on a press. West comes back to help break it. Watched closely by Barnett and White, number 12. Chamberlain comes to this side of the lane. Moves in on Reed. Shoots. No basket. Foul was called, and let's see if it's on Reed. Reed now has 3 personals as we near the end of the first half. This is the 38th sellout of the year. And Nate Bowman comes in, and they stand and applaud Willis Reed, who gets his first rest. Wow. Chamberlain is 0 for 4 from the foul line. So it'll be Nate Bowman, number 17 in white, going against Chamberlain. Second in all-time playoff rebound. We may have had a foul line violation, Jack.
Elgin Baylor, you see, number 22, back into the lineup now. Big difference in tonight's game and Wednesday night's game. Garrett has 4 points at this point, and Walt Frazier has done a great job. On Wednesday night, he had 18, I think, in the first half.
Cassie Russell giving to Stallworth, number 9. Cassie moves around, gets the ball again. And we have a block as a pick was set up. Richie Powers giving the signal. Dave Stallworth has his first personal of the ball game as the Lakers get it. They trail 61-37, 2:50 remaining in the first quarter. West into Chamberlain, and Bowman fouls him right off. He'll get 1 shot. New York now is over the limit. As Wilt goes to the line, he is 0 for 6. He has 8 points and 10 rebounds for Los Angeles as Erickson now reports in. Egan is pulled out by Coach Joe Mullaney. There's Erickson, number 24, so it'll be West in the backcourt. He'll be joined now by Erickson as we have Hap Hairston.
Will Chamberlain, 2 shots.
And Elgin Baylor is back in the lineup, number 22 on the far side of the lane. So now, Wilt is 1 of 8 as Cazzie Russell gives over to Barnett. Stolen by New York's Russell. 63 to 38. A 25-point lead by New York. 2:25 left in the first half. There you saw some gambling defense as Russell tried to intercept the ball, but it has worked often for the Knicks this year when they're defending. Russell gets it, gives to Frazier, back to Cazzie. Cazzie to Nate Bowman. Back to Russell. Chamberlain and Erickson battle for the ball. It's Chamberlain back to Erickson. Joined now by Jerry West. Walt Frazier, number 10, moving by Erickson. Now drives. Good. 65 to 38. 21 points for Frazier. And we're still in the first half with about a minute and a half to go. Now it's Hairston. The ball is knocked away by Barnett. Cazzie Russell has it. Bounces it to Frazier. Back to Russell. Whistle stopped as we have a Bowman 3-second violation. And with a minute and 10 seconds remaining, the New York Knickerbockers lead the Los Angeles Lakers by a score of 65 to 38 in the NBA championship game. With the New York Knickerbockers leading by 27 points, you see the difference in accuracy from the field. 56 for New York and only 36 for the Lakers, who have the ball now, and it's controlled by Jerry West with a minute and 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Gets it over, high pass to Erickson. Erickson to Baylor. Baylor double teamed, and again they steal it. And Walt Frazier has 23 points. 67 to 38. Erickson. That was Stallworth going up with Erickson. Also Cazzie Russell. Stallworth gets the foul. That's his second personal. In the foul department, we have Reed with 3, Barnett with 2, Stallworth with 2, while the Lakers, West 2, Garrett 3.
One more.
Erickson of UCLA. There you see the score, 67 to 40 with 40 seconds to go. First half. Hairston guarding Frazier. Russell and Frazier exchange passes. Now Bowman joins them. And adds to the outside accuracy of New York. 69 to 40 with 20 seconds left. Chamberlain gets it. Double team. Long pass. Saved by Baylor. And then Erickson loses it and saving at the line as the ball went to Cazzie Russell.
He didn't quite get it.
Right.
Laker ball out of bounds. Cazzie must have stepped on the line, ruled by Mendy Rudolph.
So it'll be Erickson under the Los Angeles basket to the far side, inbounding it. Time running out. Erickson just heaved it up, and Chamberlain put it in. And there's the buzzer. And now the red-hot Knickerbockers head for the dressing room, and the cold shooting, frustrated Los Angeles Lakers come to. There you see Chamberlain, Erickson, now Frazier, Mel Counts with his warm-up jacket on, along with Willie McCarter. There's Bill Hoskett, Mike Reardon, and John Warren. So we have the end of the second quarter. We'll be returning with halftime activities and interviews in just a moment. The halftime score is New York 69, Los Angeles 42. Here at Madison Square Garden, as we wait the start of the second half, here are the turnovers, a big story. The Lakers 14, the Knicks 6. And several of those turnovers coming on the part of the quick hands of the double teaming of the Knicks guards who share in the gambling defense of New York.
And as we looked at that statistic, we were just advised from the Knickerbocker locker room, Chris, that Willis Reed at halftime received 2 more cc of cortisone. So apparently that leg stiffened up when he came out of the game, and he has received another injection at halftime and should be ready to go in the second half here.
Willis Reed in the Knickerbocker lineup, and a fellow named Frazier, number 10, who's had a phenomenal night. Walt Frazier, who has been just extremely accurate from the field and from the foul line, and of course leads both teams. You see him there on the far side. He is 8 of 11 from the field, 7 of 7 from the foul line, but he also has a total of 9 assists.
And as we look at that New York huddle, you'll notice that Reed is not out yet. He's still being administered to in the locker room, so apparently the Knickerbockers are going to start the second half unless he makes a quick appearance. There's the comparison between Wilt and Willis, and that does not certainly tell the story. Wilt has been great, 11 points, 12 rebounds, but the 12 rebounds would indicate what the point that we made, that the strength of Willis Reed has kept Wilt away from that board and has not allowed him to operate as freely as we saw him operate on Wednesday evening.
Our friends at ABC News would like to remind you that at 10 Eastern Time, they will carry live the press conference of President Richard Nixon. And now we have Nate Bowman starting at center on the right. And we have Chamberlain on the left. And we're looking for Willis Reed. They go with Barnett, Frazier, and Bradley, and DeBusschere, while Los Angeles goes with Erickson and Garrett, Chamberlain, West.
And the cheer you hear is for Willis Reed coming out of the locker room. There he comes across the court to join his teammate. He is going to start.
Well, we have dramatics here tonight for the New York Knickerbocker fans, and Los Angeles controls the center jump. The ball goes from Erickson to West. And West, who is hitting on only 37% of his shots from the field, 1 for 1 here in the second half. He has 15 points in the game, and here's Frazier, guarded by West. Moving around, Wilt Chamberlain, passing off to Barnett. And the ball comes off to Jerry West. Erickson moving along the far side. Here's Elgin Baylor to Erickson. What an assist. But Erickson is fouled in the act of shooting. That'll be 2. West to Baylor to Erickson. Walt Frazier now has 2 personals. So Keith Erickson is at the line for Los Angeles. You just joined us. Los Angeles scored the first field goal of the second half. Score is 69-44 after 31 seconds of play. 69-45. The Knicks have the ball. DeBusschere inbounding it to Barnett. Barnett to Frazier, number 10. Double team put on by the Lakers. Now it's off as Bradley is open. Rebound comes off to Elgin Baylor. Baylor to West. West across the divisional line. And shoots. DeBusschere off the defensive board for the Knickerbockers. And he brings it up, then passes across to Frazier. Frazier back to Bradley. The Knicks have yet to find the rage. Chamberlain batted it away, but into the hands of Barnett. Reed coming to the far side, setting up a pick. That's Barnett around Chamberlain. Back outside to Bradley. Good.
And we see a defensive adjustment on the part of the Lakers. Jerry West is now covering Walt Frazier, so perhaps West will try and cool Frazier off in this second half.
Erickson's shot is rebounded by Chamberlain, who gives to Baylor. Still no good, and Frazier comes off with his 7th rebound, and it went off his foot, and the ball belongs to Garrett, number 20 of Los Angeles. And it's stolen by Dave DeBuscher on a bad pass intended for Elgin Baylor. Good defensive work by Baylor, pressuring DeBuscher as the ball comes out at midcourt to Garrett. Garrett looks around, can't find an open man, spots Baylor. 71-45. And Reed in position, bats it away, and it's taken by Bill Bradley. Barnett back to Bradley. Baylor now rebounding for the Lakers. Garrett has it. Erickson moving around under the basket. And off it comes to the Knickerbockers' Bradley. Frazier, number 10, on the far side to Barnett, his backcourt teammate. Lost. And the Los Angeles defense is pressuring now as it goes Garrett to West. West on Bradley. Good come from the other side bucket. Jerry West now with 17 points. It's 71-47, 9:15 to go in the third quarter. Frazier slows it down. Reed outside. DeBuscher. Erickson rebounding for Los Angeles. Loops one to Chamberlain. Chamberlain stops it. Now it's 71-49. 8:50 to go. Third quarter. The Lakers have scored 7 points thus far. The Knickerbockers 2. Make it 4. And by Frazier.
And once again, we saw that crushing pick by Willis Reed, freeing Walt Frazier from Jerry West so he could make that basket.
The basket counts. Jerry West, and he's fouled.
There you see
Barnett
West
foul.
drawing the foul. West faking the shot, and up he goes and in.
West now with 20 points for Los Angeles. There he is, guarding Frazier. That's quite a responsibility. Carry the offensive attack and still have to guard what tonight is the toughest shooter for New York. Andy Rudolph spotted a foul on West. And now West has 3. The man he's guarding, Frazier, has 2. The other backcourt man from New York, Barnett, has 3. Reed has 3. Garrett of Los Angeles with 3. Walt Frazier, 8 of 8 from the foul line. Elgin Baylor aiding and bringing it across the divisional line, guarded by Dave DeBuscher. Defense again is called for by the 19,500. Chamberlain batting it away. Erickson to Jerry West, and it's charging called on West.
There you see Erickson with the ball. Over to West. You'll see Barnett establish position, and West dribble right into him. Charging foul on Jerry West.
And that's 4 fouls on Jerry West. Offensive foul. The ball is inbounded. Comes to Frazier. Chamberlain gets the defensive rebound. Quickly to Garrett. Chamberlain thus far has 15 rebounds. And it's stolen by Frazier. He is too much tonight. Jerry West now working on Dick Barnett. Comes into the corner to Baylor, into Chamberlain. Chamberlain trying to get in on Reed. Can't, loses the ball. DeBusschere picks it up, gives to Frazier. Walt Frazier, 30 points.
For anybody watching, this is the way to play defense. Look at the hands of Walt Frazier getting in there on Garrett, getting that ball. Very active hands, and Walt Frazier, one of the best.
And with timeout here in the third quarter at Madison Square Garden, New York leads Los Angeles by a score of 78-52. Here is Walt Frazier, who has scored 7 of the 9 Knickerbocker points here in the third quarter.
And as we look at Frazier, to this point in the game, he has 30 points, hitting on 11 of 15, 31 points, 8 of 8, now 9 of 9 from the line, 7 rebounds and 10 assists.
Now Jerry West, guarded by Barnett, number 12. Chamberlain along the lane. In the corner, it is Garrett, number 20. Baylor, the opposite side. Garrett's shot. Rebounded by Chamberlain. Chamberlain looks for an open man. Sees Erickson. Now Baylor. Baylor really bird-dogged by DeBusschere. Runs into a Chamberlain pick. Still no good. Chamberlain puts it in. Now it is 79-54. 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Frazier. West is guarding him. Around a Bradley pick. There's a switch as Baylor takes him. Barnett has it. And he travels with the ball. So it's a New York error. One of few here tonight. Only 9. So on the far side, it's going to be Garrett inbounding it. Los Angeles has 18 turnovers. Jerry West with 6:15 remaining in the third quarter. Into Chamberlain. Chamberlain dropping his back off was Bradley to help out defensively. And Chamberlain is fouled on the play. Shoving. Willis Reed now has 4 personal fouls.
Now Willis Reed with 4, Jerry West with 4. As we look at Wilt Chamberlain. In another battle late in the third quarter here, Dave DeBusschere has 12 points while holding Elgin Baylor to only 4. Another big factor in this game.
1 of 9 from the foul line. He has 15 points, 17 rebounds. And DeBusschere gets the ball, releases it quickly to Bradley. Bradley to Barnett, back to Bill. And Baylor does it again, getting the rebound. Off to Erickson. Chamberlain down in the lane, moves out of it now as West controls the ball. And from behind, Elgin Baylor fouls DeBusschere. Baylor's second foul. There's Barnett, who's ready to inbound the ball as we look at Willis Reed, who comes out of the lineup now. And Nate Bowman, number 17, will take his place as he did earlier. He's from Wichita State.
One danger with that, Red Holzman, as he did in the second quarter, that leg stiffened up a little bit. So perhaps Red wants to give him, as we look at Dave DeBusschere, hit that, but he has to be cautious of that leg not tightening up.
And of course, one of the keys to the Knicks' success all year was their outside shooting ability, and you're seeing it again tonight. Double teaming on Erickson. Chamberlain gets away from Bowman. 81-56 with 5:15 to go in the third quarter. Frazier to Bowman on a high key. Barnett over Garrett. It comes off to Bowman. Bowman to Bradley. And the Rhodes Scholar from Crystal City, Missouri, loops one up and in. 83-56. It's Baylor on the far side. DeBusschere guarding him, then backing off to help defensively. Erickson to Garrett. Garrett hitting. He now has 6 points. Quicker than the Knicks are in their shooting zone. Frazier. Bowman. Despite the pressure of Baylor, Bowman gets his second field goal. 85-58. Biggest lead thus far was 29 points. Chamberlain. Erickson. 85-60. 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Third quarter. No basket. Frazier, working excessively hard tonight, was fouled by Keith Erickson, his second foul. So in the third quarter of this NBA championship game here at Madison Square Garden, the score, New York 85, Los Angeles 60. Coach Joe Mulaney of the Lakers giving out some strategy here, and he's familiar with the Garden, not the new one, but the old one, where his Providence College teams won 2 NIT championships. But tonight in this wedding cake-like structure, high above Penn Central Station on New York City's west side, the Lakers are having their problems as they trail by 25, and we remember, Jack, during the final game, the championship game a year ago in Los Angeles, the Lakers came back against the Boston Celtics to lose by 2.
There's Frazier. Look at the statistics. 31 points, 11 assists, and defensively, he has done a great job on Garrett. But the Lakers, as you mentioned, Chris, this is not over yet. They are a great ball club with West and Baylor and Chamberlain, the all-time leading scorers in playoff history in there. Anything can happen.
And Frazier is 10 for 10 from the foul line. And here are the Lakers. Garrett to Elgin Baylor. West in the center of the court. Chamberlain on a high post, guarded by Bowman, so Baylor moves in, giving it to Garrett. Will Chamberlain made sure. It's 86-62 with 3:34 left in the third quarter. DeBusschere to Frazier. Barnett. New-like ticking jump shot of Barnett. 10 points for Barnett as we look at Erickson. Guarded by Bradley. The Lakers now moving a little bit, trying to get open. And Mendy Rudolph spots a foul.
It's on Bill Bradley, and they've been battling head-to-head this whole series, and finally Keith Erickson just had enough of it because Bradley was real tight, and the two of them exchanged blows. The foul was called on Bradley. I notice since Willis Reed is out of the ballgame, offensively and defensively, Chamberlain has had a lot more freedom. He's roaming around a lot more offensively and defensively, and that's a tribute to Willis Reed's strength.
Coming up to the 3-minute mark of the third quarter, 88-63. Frazier. Barnett. Chamberlain comes off with the ball. Jerry West.
I think Mendy is pointing to the reporters on the court down there. The reporters are on the court, and it might obstruct play. So very alertly, Mendy Rudolph spotted that. Now play is resumed.
All right. Keith Erickson. Right into the hands of Dave DeBusschere, where a big man can really move. Length of the court. 90-63. 2:31 to go. Third quarter. 16 points for DeBusschere. Barnett guarding West. Garrett to Baylor. Baylor hits on one. Now he has 6 points. Here's Bill Bradley. Out to Frazier. Around the Bowman screen, Chamberlain picking up Frazier. Baylor on DeBusschere. Frazier now, all alone. Erickson with the ball for the Lakers. Quickly to West. And Frazier gets another rebound. Knocked away by West. West to Erickson and back to Jerry. Jerry goes around to DeBusschere. that pressuring defense. The 19th Los Angeles turnover, and the Knickerbockers asked for a timeout. And with 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter here in New York, the score, the Knicks 90, the Lakers 65. Here at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks shooting 54% overall, the Lakers 41%, and New York now out to a 25-point lead with 1:35 to go in the third quarter. Wilt Chamberlain, number 13. Sport Magazine, as they do annually, will choose the most valuable player of the championship series. And don't forget that at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, live color coverage of President Nixon's press conference from Washington. Looking at Walt Frazier, guarded by Jerry West. Nate Bowman coming outside to help, giving back to Bradley as they weave on the near side to Busher. Hits from the front. 92 to 65. To Busher with 18. West. Baylor, who has played in 7 championship series for the Lakers. Chamberlain to Garrett, and Garrett hits.
Now you see the Knickerbocker strategy being way ahead. They might leave the press as they did on that last play and sag inside, forcing the Lakers to take longer and further outside shots.
Nate Bowman. Chamberlain on the rebound. West and Baylor moving into the zone. Frazier's hands keep moving. Erickson shoots. Good. 92 to 69. Erickson now with 14 points for Los Angeles. Walking dribble by Frazier. Coach Red Holtzman giving a few signals from the bench to his team as they have the ball. Barnett, field goal. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back live and in color for the fourth quarter in this NBA championship game. The score, New York 94, Los Angeles 69. Leading scorers to the third quarter, Frazier with 32, Jerry West 20, Chamberlain 19, DeBusschere 18, and Bradley 15. Actually, in the third quarter, Los Angeles outscored New York 27 to 25 after being overshadowed greatly in the first period and second. So now we begin the fourth and final quarter, 94 to 69. Bowman on the right, Chamberlain tapping it over to Baylor. Baylor quickly to Jerry West. West to Baylor. Good. 94 to 71. Barnett to Frazier.
Now the Lakers, as they are doing, are going to have to put the press on and come out and get that ball. They need that ball.
As Frazier went up, he was greeted by Erickson, who now has 3 fouls.
Watch Erickson come from the other side of the court. Frazier around West. Now Erickson coming into your picture and getting Frazier. Wow. He made contact.
And Danny Whalen, the trainer for the New York Knickerbockers, and Coach Red Holtzman talking to Walt Frazier, who has 32 points, 12 assists, and is 10 for 10 from the foul line.
And that's a numbing spray you saw Danny Whalen apply to Walt Frazier's leg to initially numb it and not to cause any pain.
And you also saw the captain of the Lakers, Elgin Baylor, discussing things with Richie Powers and Mendy Rudolph. 2 shots in the act of shooting with 11:34 left in the game. Here in New York, thanks to the management of Madison Square Garden, the fans will see a videotape of this game at 11:30. Eastern Daylight Time. Blacked out right now while we're live in color everywhere else. Elgin Baylor working against Dave DeBuscher. Nate Bowman guarding Chamberlain. As they sag in on Chamberlain, the ball is knocked away. And oh, does that sag work. Lakers trying to press, finally across to Barnett. Barnett around West. 98-71.
And New York beautifully staggering their defense. They're pressing, they're sagging, they're changing their defense every time down the floor, and as West put that one in, it is affecting the Lakers.
Jerry West now with 22 points. 98-73. And the Knicks moving the ball around very often, consuming time as the shot comes off to Garrett, number 20. Richie Powers blowing his whistle and now explaining it to the official score here on the near side at Madison Square Garden. And Red Holtzman is off the bench. Apparently the 24-second clock is inoperative at the moment. And that has been corrected. So here we go. The Lakers with the ball. 98-73. Elgin Baylor. 98-75. Baylor now with 10 points. DeBuscher. 10 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game. Bradley. Barnett. Bowman trying to set up a screen. He does. Now Barnett has two quick off-balance shots for New York. 100-75. Elgin Baylor, the 12-year veteran. 23 points separating the Eastern Division champion Knicks and the team that won out in the West, the Lakers. Bowman beginning to set screens now outside for the Knickerbocker offense. Erickson has the ball for Los Angeles. Baylor. Well, Elgin Baylor now starting to warm up. He has 14 points. So they're within 21 now. They once trailed by 29. Bowman. Very short. Baylor has it. Baylor to Erickson. Garrett goes into the near corner. Has the ball. Gives to Chamberlain. Chamberlain looks around to Erickson. And DeBuscher again. Rebound.
And you see Walt Frazier very wisely slowing the ball up, taking advantage of the lead they have and eating up those valuable seconds. And by holding the ball, they're forcing the Lakers to become over-anxious and come out, as we saw right there, and get the easy shot.
Even though it didn't work, you saw the unselfish type offensive play of the Knickerbockers. Garrett's shot, no good. Loose ball foul. And it's called against Dick Barnett. Barnett has 4 personals now. Erickson is out of the lineup. And we see John Tresvant playing for Los Angeles now. Number 14, he has the ball. Into Chamberlain. Jerry West has it knocked away. And it's out of bounds. New York. And Dave Stallworth reports in now. And DeBuscher with 13 rebounds leaves the lineup.
Red,
18 points, Jack.
Red Holtzman very wisely seeing Elgin Baylor get hot. A little change of pace on Baylor here in the last quarter. Dave Stallworth coming in for Dave DeBuscher.
Tresvant guarding Bradley. Time consumed now for the Knickerbockers as they weave the ball around. Bowman fouls Chamberlain going up for the rebound. It's a loose ball foul. Bowman's second personal. So if you just joined us, for the Lakers, 44 West, 13 is Chamberlain, 20 is Garrett, 14, Tresvant. 22 is Baylor. Number 12 in white is Dick Barnett of New York. 10 is Frazier. 24, Bradley, who guards Tresvant right now. And it's knocked away, and Barnett has it for the Knicks. 100-79. Frazier. Wow. What a championship night he's having. 36 points. Tresvant. Chamberlain tries to knock it in, and it's off the hands of Garrett. 7 minutes, 23 seconds left in the game. And the Knicks playing the deciding game at home, getting into the finals for the first time in 17 years. Barnett.
You notice that great ball control of Frazier. He's dribbling the ball, watching the clock, trying to eat up that clock.
18 points for Barnett. Chamberlain getting it for Los Angeles. Back to Baylor. And Baylor with 16 points. It's 104-81 with 6:40 to go. Bill Bradley gets possession of the ball and calls for a timeout. Timeout with New York leading Los Angeles 104-81 at Madison Square Garden in New York. We'll be back in just 1 minute. In addition to the score, you see the circular ceiling of Madison Square Garden. The building costing $38 million. They have a felt forum, a 500-seat theater, a 48-lane bowling establishment. In other words, at one time, at this arena, there could be 7 major events taking place. And like the beautiful forum in Los Angeles, there is not a pillar or post to obstruct vision. And it's the Knickerbockers, leading Los Angeles 104-81. As Los Angeles is moving to that California city, have been frustrated since 1961. While their predecessors, the Minneapolis Lakers, dominated the league from 1940 to 1954. And here are the Knicks now. Number 12, Barnett. The number 9, Dave Stallworth, as we have Egan in for Garrett. Egan, number 21 of Los Angeles. And getting the rebound is Chamberlain. Chamberlain to Egan, to Jerry West. Knocked away, but saved by Elgin Baylor. Johnny Egan's shot comes off. Battle for Dave Stallworth. And there's the second foul on Tresvant. It's a backcourt foul, so he'll shoot it. There's John Tresvant, Seattle, number 14, and following is number 9, Dave Stallworth from Wichita State, a man who miraculously recovered from a heart attack and is playing great basketball for New York.
The reason he is shooting it is because he had possession of the ball. Normally, on a rebound like that, it's a loose ball foul, which is not shot, but Dave, as he made that second one, had possession.
Long pass from Egan to Baylor. Bowman and Stallworth both getting position on the defensive board, but they last touched it, so it'll be Egan. Frazier there watching him. That was Baylor to Chamberlain, up and in. Basket counts, and Will Chamberlain was fouled by Bowman. Bowman, who filled in for Reed in the first half, has done so here in the second half as Willis rests on the bench and New York continues to lead 106-83 with 5:54 to go. 21 points for Wilt. Bowman rebounding to another man from Wichita State, Stallworth. And a deflected pass is caught and used to advantage by Bradley. West. West tried to get it to Tresvant, and Stallworth fouled Tresvant. That's Stallworth, number 9. It's his third foul.
And in this last quarter, you can't help but be impressed by the defensive strategy of the Knickerbockers. They're sagging back in to conserve fouls. They're staggering their defense, pressing, sagging, and it has bothered the Lakers because they have not touched that score. They haven't reduced that deficit at all.
Bradley to Stallworth. The Knicks consuming time, moving the ball around. And there's a bit of a stalling tactic as Stallworth shoots in time. And the rebound comes off to Bowman. Outside to Bill Bradley. And they sit on a lead of 24 points with 5 minutes to go. Bradley. Barnett. A Bowman screen. And the rebound by West. West of Los Angeles. Egan. Baylor. And Bill Bradley, number 24, fouls him on the play. Bill Bradley now with 3 personals. And on the clock, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And after that, we will have a new NBA champion. Baylor with 17 points in the game. He has 11 in this period. Mike Reardon replaces Dick Barnett, who loudly applauded by the Knicks fans. Chamberlain trying to get away from Bowman, gives outside to Egan, back to Wilt. Baylor. Well, what a play. Elgin Baylor, 108-87. Clock running now. And bringing the ball in, we have Dave Stallworth. And Walt Frazier controls it. Jerry West giving him room. Tresvant with that rebound. Quickly to Jerry West of Los Angeles. That's Reardon guarding him. West with 2. 108-89. West now with 24 points. Stallworth playing outside while Reardon's down in one corner, Bradley in another. Now Reardon back outside. Bowman along the lane, moving through it. Reardon on a loose ball foul. That's his second. After the last game here at Madison Square Garden, the 5th, when the Knicks won as Reed was injured, Jerry West said as to their performance that night, they didn't even call timeout right. He may feel that way tonight. He may also feel that the Knickerbocker defense has just been awesome. DeBusschere is now in for Stallworth, and Barnett has come back to the Knicks lineup for Reardon. Tresvant, 2 points, both from the foul line. 108-91. So the lead has been cut to 17. And off it comes to Elgin Baylor.
And Red Holzman a little concerned, coming back with Dick Barnett and Dave DeBusschere. The Lakers cutting into that lead, now down to 17, as you said, Chris.
Now the chant for defense once more. As Baylor loops one up, Bowman is in position.
As we look at Walt Frazier, you can't help but be impressed at the way he took over tonight. Offensively, and there he is pointing, positioning his players. He's led this Knicks ball club to a big win.
And Bowman hitting from the outside, 110-91 with 2:47 to go. Egan giving back to West. And West was fouled by Nate Bowman, who did not like the call. Bowman now with 4. 2 minutes, 36 seconds left in the game. And talk of frustration, the Madison Square management, especially President Ned Irish have been frustrated for 24 years as the Knicks, one of the charter members of the National Basketball Association. And though they were in championship series twice, they failed to win. And this is their other opportunity, which came 17 years later. Jerry West.
One more.
In a penalty situation, 3 to make 2, as West has 25 points in this game. And Hap Hairston for Elgin Baylor. The applause for Baylor. Very thoughtful gesture by predominantly New York fans here in the Garden. Dave DeBusschere with the ball to Bowman, back to Dave. Now they move it around. Bradley to Frazier to Barnett. And it's knocked away to Jerry West. West, Tresvant, and Egan are all on the move. Egan to Hairston.
Fouled by Walt Frazier.
Frazier, his third personal.
That's his third personal
And
foul.
there he is,
Frazier,
number
New
10.
York is over the limit.
And going to the line will be Hap Hairston, number 52. He has 3 points. So it's 110 to 95. 15 points separating these two division champions. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left.
Fouled by Happy Hairston.
And Hairston fouls. That's his first.
First personal foul. The Lakers have
And
3
Nate
fouls.
Bowman. There's Hairston along the lane. And Bowman is at the line.
I think a lot of people minimize the contribution of Nate Bowman. All year long, he has given Willis Reed the 2 or 3 minutes that you need to refresh yourself. And in this game, he has given Reed the rest and has not played that badly. He's been very good.
Hairston's shot is rebounded by Chamberlain. Saved. Then wasted by Egan. Picked off by the Knicks. Dave DeBusschere to Bradley. To Nate Bowman outside. Back to Bradley. To Barnett. And we have 1:42 to go with a 15-point lead, the Knickerbockers.
No basket. No basket.
No basket as Egan fouls on the play. Now they're beginning to shout, "We're number one" at the Garden in New York City. And they have been a group of number one fans for this team all year. They've filled the place 38 times. The team has drawn nearly 1 million people at home. That's Frazier off to Barnett. And the rebound comes off to Hairston. Hairston's lead pass to Egan. Astray. So we look at Coach Red Holtzman, former player with the Rochester Royals, a college basketball player and student of the great Nat Holman. That was the 24th Los Angeles turnover. Don't forget, ABC News live color coverage of the press conference by President Richard Nixon tonight at 10. DeBusschere. Shot is rebounded, and Hairston has an easy 2 points. 57 seconds to go. Just that time away from a New York Knickerbocker. And now the fans start to sense victory as Bradley puts one up. DeBusschere gets the ball out to Barnett. Barnett, Bradley, DeBusschere, and as if to pour it on. They have been a superb team all year, and they're just moving it around. Frazier has it. DeBusschere to Frazier. Beautiful teamwork. Jerry West is fouled by Nate Bowman. And there are 2 Laker players who we know are frustrated. Elgin Baylor, who has tried 7 times, and this man, a superstar, Jerry West, 6 tries, to no avail. So with 8 seconds to go, it's 113 to 98. And it's hats off to the New York Knickerbocker defense. And now 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We have a new NBA champion. For long years. And I know that Mr. Ned Irish, who started college doubleheaders to get the basketball interest going in New York in the mid-30s, then started the Knickerbockers, and he and Irving Mitchell Fell, Alvin Cooperman, and all of them here, they must be delighted. And we'll return for a complete wrap-up of this NBA championship game in just a moment. So it took the New York Knickerbockers 1,858 games to win a championship in their 24-year history. The 4th time that they have gone to the final round, only to be thwarted by Rochester and the Minneapolis Lakers. So let's go to Howard Cosell and Walt Frazier.
Thank you very much, Chris. We're in a very quiet New York Ranger dressing room. We've not been granted access to the Knicks dressing room because of its smallness of size, and there's absolute bedlam in there, but we've got the man who did the job, or at least one of them, tonight, Walt Clyde Frazier. Clyde, the thing that struck us about tonight was you went back to scoring. That was part of Holzman's game plan.
That's true. With Willis Reed out of the game, I figured I had to contribute some offense. Like L.A. was a different scene from Baltimore, whereas I had to guard Earl Monroe all the time. Against them, Dick Barnett took Jerry West, so I had a little more freedom to work on offense.
But it is true that before the final game of the Baltimore series, Red Holzman called you in, told you to cut back on the shooting and to pass more and relieve yourself of the obligation of scoring, right?
That's true, but basically this is because he wanted me to pick Monroe up from inline to inline. So it was taking a lot out of me, and I didn't have too much to contribute to the offense.
36 points was some contribution. Walt, congratulations indeed. You and the Knicks are #1.
Right, of all the world.
Of all the world. Now let's go back to Chris Schenkel up in the booth.
And Walt Frazier with 19 assists and 7 rebounds, and what a night he has. We'll return to Madison Square Garden for more in our wrap-up following this message.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is...
In what was really a very nice scene, Big Will Chamberlain just came in here to congratulate Dick Barnett, who's standing next to me. And congratulations, champ. As I said to Walt, you are #1.
Yeah, thanks, Howard. It was a great team victory in every sense of the word. I thought we got off real well. This was the key to our victory. And throughout the series, we've been trying to catch the Lakers in the first quarter, but we got off good tonight.
Once again, I'd like to explain the quietude in this room. We're in the New York Rangers dressing room. We have not been granted access to the Knicks dressing room because of its diminution of size. Back now to Dick Barnett. Dick, the interesting thing was the way you used Willis, obviously hobbled at the start. He shot and sank the first 2 baskets enough to scare the Lakers, obviously.
Well, right. He was handicapped to a great degree. He wasn't very mobile out there, but he could set picks, and we were trying to come off for Will for the shot. So this worked pretty good for the first quarter. So this got us off to a real good start.
Astonishing, and not derogating Wilt at all, who just showed that fine gesture of sportsmanship. The way tonight, by Willis's mere physical presence, Wilt couldn't do that which he did on Wednesday night past.
No, right. Well, Will plays great position on him. He doesn't let him roll in like he was doing Wednesday night. So by and large, Wilt didn't get that many points in the first quarter. I don't know if he even scored 20 during the game.
You were remarkable, you son of a gun, with those driving left-handers. Just remarkable, and getting the arch over Wilt's head.
Well, I've been pretty successful during the series doing this. I see dollar signs up there on the backboard.
You see dollar signs. You know you're 34 on the record.
33. Don't make me too old yet.
All right, we'll call you 33. And there's a lot of talk about you maybe being put up for grabs in the expansion.
It very seriously.
You think this series kept you in New York for sure?
I don't think the series. I think my performance throughout my career keeps me in New York.
You have every right to enjoy that kind of pride. Dick, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Once again, Dick Barnett, the great southpaw shooter who proved himself in the clutch all over again tonight. Now let's go back to the booth and Chris Schenkel.
Okay, Howard, and after 101 games, the New York Knickerbockers have downed the Los Angeles Lakers by 14 points. As you see, 4 of the Lakers in double figures, and surprising Dick Garrett with only 8 in the game tonight. Hairston with 6, Tresvant with 3. While for the Knickerbockers, their offensive leader, Walt Frazier with 36, Barnett 21, DeBusschere 18, Bradley 17, Nate Bowman 6, Reardon 5, Reed 4, Stallworth 4, and Cassie Russell 2. And Jack, it was really felt that without an all-out performance by Willis Reed, an effective performance, it would be very difficult for the Knickerbockers to defeat the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. However,
Chris, you can't say enough about the courage of Willis Reed. Reed came in here obviously hobbled. His mere presence on the court intimidated the Lakers. He drew Chamberlain out from underneath, which on Wednesday night's game, by staying underneath, Chamberlain dominated the game. So Reed in the lineup, setting picks, occupying Chamberlain, did a great job, and his mere presence psychologically helped tremendously this New York ball club.
so it's a $118,000 playoff series for the New York Knickerbockers, while the Los Angeles Lakers, in losing in this best of 7 in the very final game, will share $87,000. So once again, Howard Cosell with an interview.
All right, for the third time, I want to explain the quietude of this particular room. We're in the New York Rangers dressing room. The smallness of the Knickerbocker dressing room has caused us not to be granted access there. They are celebrating. As you would normally see it in there, the champagne is flowing, and Bill Bradley has just had some of it thrown over his own head. The young man from Oxford was brilliant tonight, and it was almost like the perfect execution of a perfect game plan, Bill.
Sure was, Howard. It was a time like this, I feel very glad to be a part of all this. I think that tonight, as much as any other time, demonstrated how much of a unit we are and how much we mean to each other. And I know that the game of basketball is one of conflicts, as any team sport is. And the thing that made this whole year so much fun, as well as winning the championship, is that the conflicts on this team were minimized to the level so that they were kept in perspective, and we all, when it came down to it, wanted to win and play together to win, and that's what we did tonight. That's what makes me so very happy, because that's the way basketball should be played. That's why I'm playing basketball. That's why I'm here talking to you now. It's just, you know, there's so many individual things, and I think that one of the major things that you can talk about is Willis, the courage he demonstrated.
Dave, come on in here while I'm with Bill. Bill, I must say that's one of the finest expressions I've... Oh, here we go. It's a little bit, not quite like the New York Mets. Let's tell it like it is. The New York Knicks are a happy group. Billy has just given us a superb exposition of what has made this team so great. This is Jimmy Wergeles, who is the PR man for the Knicks. Nate Bowman. A lot of people call him Nate the Snake. A lot of people have had a lot of fun with Nate throughout the year. But as you saw on Wednesday night past and again tonight, this young man made a major contribution when the victory was needed. Congratulations.
Thank you, Howard. We had to have it.
I know. You know, I always said you could outplay Chamberlain.
Thank you. I knew I could.
And I've got to turn to number 22. A lot of people feel that the now championship club was truly made when the Knicks acquired Dave DeBusschere. It's become a cliche almost. But, David, you were never greater than in the clutch tonight. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Howard. It's a long time coming. I feel very, very proud of being on this team. I would be... I don't think you can honestly pinpoint one particular man besides Willis, our vital point and our pivot man, that is more important to our club. I think we just play a good team game, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. And I think I'm just so happy really right now. I was speechless for a while.
I can understand it. Weren't you guys, though, knowing that Willis wouldn't be at full strength tonight, that he'd only have a percentage measure of his real efficiency, weren't you guys a little uptight, didn't you? As Dick Barnett said, we knew we had to get off fast, but you must have been uptight.
Well, it was his presence that was the important thing, and he came onto the floor after we were out there about 15 minutes. When he came on, it gave us all about a 10-foot lift, I think, just to have him there, because he really did a great job, and I think he inspired Nate, too, to do a similar kind of job.
You're talking so well, Billy, and I think the standing ovation that Reed got when he came out today was something he'll remember all his life.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Well, one thing I have to say about the fans here in New York, Howard, they deserve the championship as much as we did, because they've meant so much to our club as far as the emotional side of it, and picking us up as far as our spirit and everything. We can never go down there and lay down on this crowd, because they just wouldn't let us if we tried. I don't think. They're really a part of us.
Once they gave you that same kind of ovation, remember, David?
I certainly do, and I feel I'm very proud of that fact. And,
now, of course, you and Bill are best friends. You always said Bill would never make it as a pro. Any statement now?
As a what?
As a pro.
Oh.
If he didn't, you've got a scoop.
No, Bill's done just a great job for us all year, as everybody else has, and I'm sure that to put the credit on one particular person is very hard.
Well, that's true, but I must tell the viewers now that Willis Reed, and I'm sure both of you gentlemen are gratified by this, has been named the most valuable player of the championship NBA series. David, I'm sorry you didn't get it, but I think... Okay. Let's go back to Christopher Schenkel in the booth.
Well, you can see that Howard Cosell is truly loved wherever he goes. I'm not sure he likes champagne.
I'm not sure either. Chris, I think we should, at this point, mention something about the Los Angeles Lakers. A great player like Jerry West. They got to the finals. That is a tremendous accomplishment. They were beaten here this evening, but they're a great ball club. West, Baylor, Chamberlain, Erickson, the whole team has nothing to be ashamed about. They got to the finals of the World's Championship. They did it with a great performance this year. They played only 12 regular season games with Wilt Chamberlain. So it's a great tribute to Joe Mulaney. It's a great tribute to Jack Ken Cook and that whole organization, and I think we should mention this at this point.
First, Jack, we often point out that winning beats anything that comes in second. And I know that Jack Kent Cook, the owner of the Lakers, and Fred Schaus, who played 1 year for the Knickerbockers, are the two most disappointed, because after Fred coached, they got Wilt Chamberlain out there with the two other superstars, and they were pretty sure that they'd come up with a championship, and so was everyone else.
Well, they have a lot of pride, and as I say, they have nothing to be ashamed about, and it was a great year for Los Angeles. Turned out to be a greater year for New York, and Reed being named the most valuable player. I've been in sports a long time, and I have never seen an emotional moment like I saw when Reed came out of the dressing room. I saw him at 6 o'clock when he was out on the court, and he was dragging that leg. And he went in there, he worked on it, he wanted to play, he realized how valuable he was to this New York ball club, and it's a great tribute to a great competitor, Willis Reed.
Jack, I would think one of your most emotional evenings would have been when they had a night for you in Cincinnati. You went out and scored 39 points.
Well, that was one of the highlights, Chris. It was a big thrill also to be here this evening, and I've got a lot of fond memories from my 11 years in the league, and this is a pretty nice memory to have, being on hand for a great experience like this evening.
All right, let's go down once again to a rather wet with champagne Howard Cosell.
Thanks again, Chris. Here he is. He's the big man. Willis Reed, named the most valuable player in the just concluded NBA championship series with the Knicks now #1. Willis, congratulations to you, and I'm sure it comes from all the viewers. I must talk to you first about the incredible ovation you got when you came out on the floor tonight.
I was very pleased with that. Everybody been saying, you know, are you going to play? Are you going to play? I felt like I was going to play. I didn't know how effective I was going to be. I just said, I hope I have a good ball game. I hope the team play well, and I hope we could win it. You know, I'll do everything I could, because I didn't know whether we'll be back here again next year. We're here this year. Let's win it this year.
Let's win it this year. You said on the plane as we flew back after Wednesday night's debacle, from your point of view, it might not come your way again, remember?
That's correct. You never know. I mean, with the great teams, with Al Cindor and all the other great ball players and teams in this league, we don't know what will happen next year. Why wait to say we'll do it next year? Let's do it this year, and we've done it. And this is the greatest feeling I've had since I've been playing basketball.
Just joining us, the diminutive former basketball star himself, the coach of the Knickerbockers, Red Holzman. Red, how much did Willis figure in tonight's victory? He's been named the MVP. What did his mere presence mean, despite his being hobbled, in terms of stopping Wilt?
Well, I think just the fact that he was out there gave the club quite a lift, and the fact that he was lucky enough to make a couple of shots at the beginning
Was that part of the game plan, by the way, to scare them with Willis shooting first?
No, but it gave us a big lift when he made his first few shots.
After that, you were very cautious with him.
Well, we weren't cautious. We were just watching him, and he went about as far as he could go, and then if we needed him again, he would have been back in the ball game. But Nate Bowman did a fine job, and we didn't have to put him back in.
The people of this country face a certain puzzlement, Red. It's a question I asked Walter Kennedy at halftime. Why is it, how is it that the Lakers could do what they did to the Knicks 2 nights ago, and you could turn around and utterly submerge them tonight?
Well, I think that old adage about every game being a new game is very important, and the fact that your home court is very important. Our fans are the greatest in the world, and I think they had as much to do with winning this game as we did.
Big man, you know what you mean to your teammates? You know what Bradley said about you?
No, he doesn't.
He said, just seeing you come out on the floor, put those guys together. And he spoke magnificently, he really did, about you men have coalesced, how you have. And truly, again, our congratulations. You've offered, I think, the best that the human spirit can offer. Congratulations to you, too. Now, these two gentlemen. Ned Irish.
Howie, I can't disagree with anything you said up to date on that score.
Ned Irish, the president. Would you jump out of the way, old boy? Thank you. Ned Irish, the president of the New York Knickerbockers, and my congratulations.
Thank you, Howie.
And, of course, we spoke at halftime with Irving Mitchell Felt.
We couldn't have done it without your assistant coaching, you know, your help as an assistant coach.
You're the second guesser, Ned, not me.
Oh, get out. You're better than I am.
All right, here's Irving Mitchell Felt. Our congratulations to you.
Thanks very much, Howard. It was a great game, great team effort. We're proud of everybody involved.
Final word, we want to add our word to Chris Schenkels about a very great Los Angeles team, notwithstanding what happened tonight. Men like West, Baylor, and Chambers.
Good assistant tonight, you know, the doctor.
Yes, and Dr. Parks. Now back to Chris in the booth.
Well, we saw the happy side of this basketball game anyway, Jack Twyman, and the backcourt of the Knickerbockers tonight with a total of 57 points. Barnett and a fellow named Frazier, and 36 for the Los Angeles backcourt, and there was a big difference.
Well, that's right. Walt Frazier just took over. 36 points by Walt Frazier, 19 assists, so he participated in those other points on the part of the backcourt, and he played a magnificent game, and as Howard said, they departed from their original playoff strategy where Walt would not look at the basket but keep the ball moving. Tonight, he looked at the basket. He said it very well. He felt he had to pick up the offensive slack. He sure did, and it provided the Knickerbockers with a win.
Well, Jack, after umpteen games, we've been in most of the NBA cities, and we received a lot of cooperation from all the teams, from Boston to Phoenix to Atlanta, and we look forward to doing it again next year. In the meantime, you keep your head down in your golf swing, and watch our golf telecast. We have one tomorrow, the third round from Houston, and then again on Sunday. And it's been great working with you again, and best of luck to you in the summer. Hoping to join you in a round or two.
I'm looking forward to it, Chris, and I've enjoyed it very much, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank all of you, the great viewers all over America. Once again, the final score, New York 113, the champions, the losers, the Los Angeles Lakers, 99.